guys, I thought I would make some use of our downtime and maybe address some of the things that clients wonder about or don't know and could be little tidbits that are helpful to getting your equipment to last longer. I thought I would talk about salon appointments and just some basic client 101 PSA since we're all sitting around with nothing better to do. The first thing I thought I would talk about is your styling tools. And one of the main things that I recommend to people is that when you are getting ready to heat style your hair is blown out, we're assuming after the hair is blown dry, is to put some type of heat protectant on your hair. Number one, it will protect your hair from the heat, put a barrier between your hair and the heat of the tool. And secondly, it will also starch the hair somewhat. So whether you're trying to add curl or whether you're trying to smooth out curl and using a flat iron, either way, that's something that's going to be beneficial to you. So as I do these little PSAs, I'm not really making it about any specific product, although where I work, Tribute Salon carries some fabulous heat protectants and excellent hair care products in general. So that'll be in a different video. But right now, what I thought I would start with is just care and maintenance of heat tools. So one of the biggest things that I see people do is when they wind their cord up, they take it and they do this. Now, of course, I have conditioned myself to do it this way, but this right here is the area where you're more likely to have a wire break or have a problem with your tool. This usually happens more so with blow dryers, but because there's a pivot point with most of your curling irons or flat irons. So, but winding the cord like this puts a lot of stress on the wires inside. So, now ideally, you would simply do this and put it away because you're not really tightly winding anything. But if you're like me and you're a little bit OCD on this, I still have to wind mine up, in which case I double the cord and then I just kind of loosely wind it around the iron. So it cuts down on how many times you're going around the iron and you're less likely to cause damage. Same with all of your tools. I double up the cord, like with my blow dryer. Now I have a very unusually shaped blow dryer, but I double up the cord and then just kind of wrap it like that, as opposed to, again, going all around the handle, because that puts a tighter crimp on the wire. So there's wrapping your cord. Secondly, now my dryer, because it's such an unusual dryer, is kind of a weird lint filter, although it's dirty. So is that. You can see a little bit of lint in there. This is this and the wrapping the cord wrong. These are the major reasons why people's dryers burn out. Once this is cleaned and you got it on, if you put your hand over this, you're going to feel the draw of the air going into the blow dryer. So imagine with all of that lint in there, how that blocks that and prevents your dryer from working properly. So get in a habit of cleaning it. Ideally you do it once a week, but whatever works for you, most people don't do it at all. So even if you did it every 6 months, it would be better than not doing it at all. But to do it more frequently, even better yet. Now at the salon, I have a Dyson dryer, and Dyson tools tend to be ultra sensitive, so you cannot, I have to clean that thing daily, because the minute there's anything plugging that up, it'll make the dryer shut down. So get that all cleaned out. Some of them are removable. I mean, the top part came off. This does not come off. So I've got it unplugged, and what I'm gonna do, I guess actually I wasn't really ready for this, but if you take like a nail brush, any kind of a soft synthetic brush, just brush that out of there, brush it into your sink, and it's gonna be just more like a dust coming off, and rinse it down the drain, but keep that clean. that will make a huge difference. Okay. And whatever tool you use a lot, especially if you're being good and using a heat protectant, you are going to have some kind of product buildup. And you can see I've got a little bit of product buildup right there. You can either use Goo Gone on it with a towel, Windex, anything that will cut that adhesive. Now, I could actually just scrape that off with my nail, which it does. I said, well, take a lot of that off, just scraping it with my nail. But you do have to be careful. I mean, if you have a ceramic surface or something that could be damaged by scraping it, you'd be better to do something moist, either with the Windex or the Goo Gone. Also do that frequently. I think that pretty much covers it as far as heating tools. When you are using your tools, another thing that I encounter quite often with clients, if you have really fine hair, now there used to be a time when flat irons were being sold that didn't have any kind of a temperature setting, but I think most of them do now. So most of them advertise getting as high as 450, which if you have hair like mine, my hair is curly naturally and it's a coarser texture. So I actually have to have a little bit higher heat in order to press that curl out of my hair. But if you have fine hair or if you have a lot of highlighting, please don't use it on high heat. I know it's faster and I know it gets it nice and smooth, but you're still going to accomplish the same thing, especially if you were not using a heat protecting spray before and you decide to start doing that, that helps press it out. So you don't need to go over the hair with that high heat. So keep that in mind. You need to kind of play around and see what temperature is best for your hair. You could even Google what the best setting is. They're even learning now that with keratin treatments, it used to be everybody did it at the highest heat. Now we're trying to back off of that a little bit because that's where the damage can happen, is when it's too high of a heat for your hair. So blow drying also, I know we all kind of joke in the salon about, you know, when it's smoking and you're blowing out your hair, a lot of smoothing products in particular have ingredients in them that tend to smoke off when hit with heat, but you really shouldn't have a lot of smoke coming off of your hair. In fact, I personally, now you're going to get different opinions from various stylists, but I personally think if there's smoke coming off, that heat is way too high. And tools are being made now to do that, to be very hot. And, you know, again, if you have that coarse hair that, you know, can stand up to anything, then go for it. You know, again, heat protectant spray to make sure you don't do damage. But most people don't have that kind of hair. Medium to fine textured hair, you should be backing off that heat. So don't use your blow dryer on high heat. Try using it on medium, and I'm going to guarantee you're going to see good results without going to that highest setting. And even a good way to finish your blow dry, and I've got another video that I'm doing with just how to do a basic blow dry on your own hair. Finish it with a cold set. Every dryer these days, this is my Cool Shot. Most dryers somewhere along the handle have a trigger that is to give a cool shot of air to what you're doing. Let's say you've got the brush in your hair, it's dry, and you're just kind of finishing, giving it that last shot of heat. Finish with cold. You'll be amazed at how much more volume you get when you do that, and it adds shine to the hair. The heat kind of helps open the cuticle, and the cold helps to smooth it down. So by finishing with that cold shot, it gives it just a nice glossy finish. So I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to go over with this segment. And be well and take care of that hair. And hey, now we've all got time to learn to do some of those things that I hear so many clients say, I don't know how to blow dry my hair. So here, we're going to give you some tips and maybe we can figure this out. And hopefully I'll be seeing you in my chair soon. Bye.